What is up, people of YouTube? This is Hidden Angel Lionheart coming to you live with a video, special video actually. And this is actually a topic, this is going to be based on a topic that has to do with in-game caching for the Wartune community. For those of you that have been playing the game for years, you know what to go for, but there's been some newer players that's been getting more introduced into the game, and just I don't know how they've been getting introduced, either from ads or just people recommending or vice versa. So for those of you that don't know what the frick you're even doing, you're in luck, because I even made a post in the Facebook Wartune Ultra 7 Road group that me, Chandler, and Jess are all admins in, and Fern, if he ever decides to come back to the community. I had made a post stating specifically that before the end of this weekend, well, it kind of is the end of the weekend, but it's like 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. But, yeah. So, first off, real quick, I thought I'd show you guys. His BR got up some more. I'm almost 160, and I finally got my third 70 piece, and the only hard grind is the fact that I'm just going to have to be grinding for lag mats and so forth. But anywho, we're just going to skip all that. We're going to go right into it. So for those of you that normally are starting into the game, you get what pops up for the first beginner cacher reward. It's a 3-day claim. You get the level 10 start, I think it's like level 10 or level 20 starter legendary jewels. Those are highly recommended. Those is definitely, well, as soon as you cash into the game, that definitely is something you always want to main for sure, because you get a very good starting out stats to make you a little beefy starting out in the game, to where nothing can touch you, nothing can hurt you when it comes to physical attack, up until like, I would say maybe late 20s or early 30s starting out, because at that point you're just going to be wanting to get better gear. But other than that, you always want those. And specifically, main hard cash would be directed towards benefits. This is actually one of the things I was going to recommend to people, well, for those of you that are going to watch and actually pay attention to the video, because mind you, it's late, and I'm like going on the I'm going on the fly here, so whatever comes to mind is what's going to be said, because as you all know, I'm notorious for speaking full before I can process what I'm going to say. So, first off, this is one of the things they just put into the game, the Lord Privilege card. This resets once a month, and it's $20 once a month, of course, that you can yourself invest into. Now, what this does is, each day for the 30 days of activating this, you are able to claim all kinds of rewards. So for one, that'd be for instantly getting, because so many days have passed, you're still able to claim everything up until now. You get Bound Balance, you get materials for Sylph, you get the Mara Sepulchrum, and I actually don't know what that thing is. Oh, you get to pick a mount. So in which case, you're getting to pick one of your 4 mounts that comes from this, and you get 4 mounts 4 times a month. Or not 4 times a month. You get once a month, 4 different times. So definitely recommend it for sure, because you get the mounts, which would be the dragon card, which gives a lot of points, the cat, which I chose when I first got it, the bike, and the elephant. But for sure, you either want the dragon or the cat first, because mount value, the higher the mount value, the more stats you get. So in which case, you always want to go for the mount that gives the most value to your points and whatnot, for those of you that have or haven't figured that out or put that together. And another thing is, you get to pick a level 7 gem. Any of these level 7 gems you get for free too, which is actually really nice. And this is 20, like it says, it's $20 once a month, and it resets, and for 30 days you get 30 different rewards, mostly Bound Balance, and other things are the Battle Protection Shards, which actually is an advantage for you in the game, because you get to, I think it's the one you either get to pick the 10 shards you want to use to upgrade your specialization, or it's the 10 that is given out randomly. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'm kind of having a blonde moment with that. Hero Training Selection Chest. So, of course, as the name suggests, you get to pick either the Soul Crystals, Fate Crystals, or the Dragon Glass, which you always mainly use for the Dragon Tattoos. So, you get 25 of those, so 25 times the number, so 25 times 30, that would be actually quite a lot. 25 times 3, 6, 75 Fate Stones you get with that. 25 times 2, double that, that would be 50. So the 30 times 25, actually 3, 6, oh wait, yeah, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So that'd be a total of like 750 soul crystals, which actually isn't bad. You can get to pick one or the other regarding the chest. So for sure, this is definitely something I would recommend because there's a lot of people I know, even from experience, they would just throw their cash around because, one, wallet warriors, two, you can afford everything and anything. People are normally investing hundreds to thousands of dollars a month into this game, which is freaking ridiculous. And me being who I was, or used to be, originally for my mage, as you guys know, the older people for sure, Crow, especially, and Foyd Zoli, and Evil Eye, God rest his soul, rest in peace, my good buddy. He could even vouch that I spent a ton on this, but of course, Goat and Reaper, if they're watching this, they can even commentate. I was a cash cow. Unfortunately, I put so much money into this game. I could have probably bought a house and a few cars. That's probably how much money I put into this game, regrettably. But anywho, yes. The Lord Privilege cards, $20 once a month, absolutely, and it doesn't keep charging you reoccurringly, so this is an optional thing, but I would recommend it. You'd be really stupid not to do it. There's all kinds of stuff you can get from this, and it helps you out in the long run, especially get the free mounts, free specializations, a free gems to not level up, but just to up your stats, one of whatever gem you want for attack, defenses, block, etc. And level packs. Okay, so as soon as you guys level up every 10 levels, you guys see you get all this freebie stuff. Then, of course, you get those for free. Depending what your VIP benefit is, or if you have VIP benefits, you get all these for free as well. Special packs as well, of course, cost crazy amount of balance, as you guys can see for some of them. The most expensive one, I would definitely have to say, is the one when you hit 40 and you have what is called the Light and Dark Sylph Selection Chest. So you can pick either to have a starting Apollo or a starting Hades. This is the one I absolutely recommend for those of you that are 40 and you're trying to pick one or the other. Hades is more built for PvP, and he does Deadly Bleed. If you guys want to go for him, absolutely, I recommend it. They're both great Sylphs. Apollo is absolutely the best and strongest magic attack hitting Sylph. So depending on your class, and because things have been alternated and changed with the Elemental Forest at level 80, I guess it doesn't really matter which Sylph you pick, but depending on your class, you normally want to have that versatile option to where physical attack can also have magic, and of course that's two separate compatibilities, and Hades has always been the best choice for mage, but Hades is good in general, but to make things even more interesting and more deadly, mage with Hades has always been destructive. But and some of the other stuff you can get to when you're cashing into the game, almost 3,000, 3,000 balance. You would get the mount card pack. Of course, you get a random mount. Of course, it's not guaranteed what one you get, so be careful how many mounts you guys have already. If you don't have enough, absolutely, I recommend it. I didn't get this, of course, because, again, money situation, and two, I would rather work for some of the stuff instead of cashing for the majority of it. And then the other thing I would suggest, actually no, because you can randomly get them from the jewel bag, so this is just optional. You can get one of the 7 choices of jewels you can put into your I guess jewel tree or whatever you guys want to call that and whatnot for special cases, And then level 20, of course, you get the free fashion bag. If you don't have a whole lot of fashion, absolutely recommend it. And you get a crusade on top of that. That's only like $10 or $8.99. I think that's like $10, $12 or something like that. That's actually not bad for sure, because one, you get one of any clothing, 2 free fashion cores, and an extra crusade to get you an extra dungeon run. So for stuff like this, you want to be very particular and very smart about it, because some of the stuff you will need, and then some of the stuff you will not need. Now for level 70, of course, you get the Sylph Soul Crystals, and then you also get the SS Rarity Sylph Equipment Selection Chest, which allows you to pick one of any piece of gear or mats for any of the Sylphs that you're using. That gives you the extra abilities to make yourself stronger, for one, and two, they have built-in skills to where in the gear, when you get special ones that are element based on yourself, you have either the passives or one of the skills you use in battle. It gives you all kinds of bonuses and extra. This is also something I would recommend later on, but if you don't want to do that, that's perfectly fine. People that don't cash really hard normally are grinding through the Sylph chests you can get through participating in the Sylph domain area, to where you can battle 120 Sylphs and you get anywhere between, I think it's like 1 to 3 Sylph essence you can get and save up for those. 450 essence it takes to get 3 chests, and then 150 for one of the S rarity, or not S rarity, but actually, yeah, I think it is an S rarity chest. I'll have to double check that and show you guys what I mean. And then you have what is called the monthly pass. So basically what this is, you start out getting so many balance throughout the month, and then every day you get what is called the daily claim. As you guys can see, the total gems you can get, so that's another $20 value. Then if you keep it synced to your card, it will charge you for sure. I've done it myself, and other people that have played this game for years can also vouch for me when I say it will charge your card. So be very careful if you're not willing to do this, because it will charge you. But as you can see on it, the daily claim every 30 days, depending on the days, especially if it's a leap year, you get the daily claim of 75 gems for the basic, and you can have up to over 2,000 bound balance, and then you're starting out 500 balance, and then you get also the 1,500 immediately starting actual game balance, and then throughout the month you get 300 bound balance a day, every day. So you have up to 9,000 bound balance, and you get your 1,500 once a month as well. So bound balance is very essential for sure, especially for those of you that don't cash heavy and you're actually just using the bound balance to get certain level 2 gems from the shop, or just other necessities. Well, roses kind of are, but aren't if you're just wanting to make your charm higher to where you're more recognized in the game and the server, which is kind of dumb, but each their own. And then the growth fund, especially if you buy into this, depending on your level, it starts at level 20. It starts at level 20, and you can get up to 10,500 balance when you max out your level and whatnot. And of course, as soon as you start out, you get an immediate 1,500 starting actual balance as well. So that's an extra 1,500 on top of the monthly pass. So if you do these, that's over 3,500 balance starting out for you for like $60, pretty much. Or not 60, $40. Correct me. Yeah. This is, I think, also was a $20 value, and until you've reached the maximum level, this stays. It won't go away. You will not have to keep repurchasing it to get the extra bound balance plus regular balance you get. So it's a one-time thing. So absolutely, I would recommend that too if you guys are trying to get some extra stuff for every 5 levels, of course. And then the follow for gift, well, that's just a what if. And this actually will reset from time to time, and when it does, you keep getting the wish tickets, which you can use to either save up to get a mount for 25 wish tickets or 10 wish tickets to get a piece of clothing. I've been mainly getting the clothing, as you guys are aware, and I've been telling you guys. These are actually permanent. They do not fade away to answer Achilles or Skills, however you say your name in the game, bud. Because him and I were having a conversation earlier, and I told him you can these will not fade away. These do not dissipate. They will stay active for you as long as they can until 7 Road, of course, does a stupid if they decide to, which of course they have a reputation for doing that every so often. So, wish tickets for sure. This is your way to get extra clothes and extra mounts, and you can also get those from the devotions, the 200 daily devotion, and of course you don't get the full 200 until you've reached a certain point in your level. And again, you can either save up for the clothes or you can save up for the mounts. Personally, I would go for mounts, but if you guys like your fashion and you want your class to look a certain way, absolutely go for clothes, whatever floats your boat. But for me, honestly, I'm just going for the clothes right now until I feel necessary. And of course, until they decide to give us free codes, this is irrelevant, completely irrelevant. But yes. And then you have what is called the special events, as a lot of you already know. So as you guys can see, Magic Pen, of course, you get that from doing events. And then they just added something into the game, though, the Selection Gift Pack. Now, I don't know if this came back when I came back to the game, or if this has been a thing before the U Demons dropped. So, to my understanding, depending how much you cash into it, you'll get Tara Temple Crusade, so it's a crusade just for the temple itself. And then the more you cash, you get more stuff. And then, of course, the Nocturnal Green Blade, Nocturnal Gleam Hat, the Gleam Armor, and you have the wings. So, of course, the higher you cash, you'll get clothing items as well. And depending how much balance you're investing, there's $1, there's like $5, $20, $30, $50, $100, or actually no, $100 and $20, and then you have the whole $200 right here, pretty much, or $150, so to speak. So, and of course, you get to pick. This is also something you want to be careful about as well, depending on your level. But depending if you're going to be a lock character, I hate that title. For those of you that came up with it, screw you guys. Literally, I mean that intentionally, not just literally, but figuratively as well. Screw you guys. Campers, you get, well, for one, you can pick to either have the Crypt Token, a Skeleton Key, or a Purgatory Key. So, since you're going to be mainly starting out in the game, your Purgatory Key is going to be completely irrelevant to you. Skeleton Keys, irrelevant as well. Crypt Keys, you want to keep up on, especially when you want to do the Catacombs, because you want to keep your gem stats high, and you want to keep getting reoccurring gems until you reach like level 38, level 39, vice versa, whatever you're camping at. You want to keep the Crypt Keys so you can keep getting those tokens, and not just the tokens. I gotta hurry. Not just the tokens, but also the gems, because gems are key, gems are essential, gems is what keeps the battle rating high as well. And you normally want to always keep your gems the same level. If you try and max out all your gems and convert them to make one super beefy gem, yeah, that's all fine and dandy. But what happens to the rest of your stats? You turn into basically a ragdoll ready to be pummeled upon. So absolutely, Crypt Key is the one thing I would definitely go for. And then the second choice, you have the Refinement Locks, the Imperial Seals, and the Gem Pack. So, personally, once you reach a certain point to where you're not leveling anymore and you want to invest, I would probably either go for the Gem Pack or the Refinement Lock, because you want to refine your gear as well to where your stats are changing, and you want to get certain stats. You want to keep certain stats away and out of your gear to where it dwindles you to where you're not strong enough. So Refinement Lock, I would definitely consider that for sure when it comes to the caching point of view. And then with the Recruitment Pack, that's the $5, you get the free recruitment ticket, which is a nice thing to have. And then the Star Map, Star Wish, and Starfire. So Star Wish is basically what you need, of course, with the stargazing you guys have seen. Star Wish is the material that you need to spin the wheel to get all the different Zodiac mats that you need to upgrade each of the Zodiac map pieces. Starfire is basically that thing that you upgrade in the stargazing portion as well, to where you upgrade stats based on how high you level up the zodiac star line. And then the star map itself is just extra material to where you can upgrade any of the zodiac map pieces. So it's basically a universal material that you can upgrade any of your zodiac maps to where it actually benefits you more than it doesn't. So therefore, when you are able to do the stargazing, I don't remember what level that is. That might be when you're 40s, but I would definitely save up on those for when you do, because that's a lot of, I mean, you'll get 75, 50 extra battle rating, depending, but that's a lot of battle rating when you think about it, because you're investing into that and you're getting battle rating out the butt. So absolutely, I would go for that. And then you have the $20 value pack. You get the battle protection card selection chest, so you get to pick any of the protection specialization mats that you would need to keep your resistance high. So that's for later on in the game when you level up, and you have the elemental remnants, the sky secret medicine, and then the sky crystals. So for that's when you do I think it's like the sky trials for when you hit 50 or 55. It's one of the, or actually no wait, it's 60. When you hit 60 with it, you battle through the Sylph gates to unlock more material to where you get the elemental remnants that ranks up your specialization through the 6 elements, and then the universal one that affects all of them and not just yourself. And then the Sky Secret Medicine is basically what you would need to upgrade more Sky Energy to where you can traverse into the Sky Trial gates more. So honestly, if the sake of the argument, I would honestly go for the Elemental Remnants, because that is the main source of what you need to elevate your specialization. So that is definitely something you would want to consider going into. And then you get to pick one of these, so that's kind of just self-explanatory right there. And then you also have the element, the spiritual, the light and dark, plus the will of the void, which is the universal. And then you also get all of these as well for the pretty much the $30 pack. And depending on your level, you just want to be smart about it. And if you're not going to be very high enough level, I wouldn't recommend any of these, honestly. So for those of you starting out that are just wanting something small to get yourself more beefy, and then of course you have this stuff here, which is just used for yourself, or you demons. I wouldn't recommend it. So for this, depending on your level, honestly, you need certain things. This pack actually does help you for sure. The special selection gift pack, you can pick stuff to where it will affect you later on in the long run. So if you guys want to invest into the more expensive stuff to where you hit that certain level, you have what you need and you don't have to worry about it later on, that's all fine and dandy. But tread carefully, because depending what you spend on, it will either compromise you in your toon progression, or it will compromise your wallet more to where you're struggling for the next 2 weeks, depending on what you do and whatnot. So, again, this video is just to guide the people that are cashing into the game, because you don't know what to cash for, you don't know what you're needing. So, again, this is your little cheat video to help you guys figure out and get a general idea of what you should go for. And then, as you guys can see, the higher the battling cost, the more expensive it is, but it also depends on what level you are and depending on the match you would need. So that's also another thing to go off of. And there was another thing, somebody asked me where to get Sylph packs, or basically Sylph contracts. So Sylph contracts come from the special hot events, and depending how many material it asks, it's normally 50. If you can get up to 100, you can normally get 1 to 2 Sylph packs, and then the Sylph pack you can trade in to the special exchange. Actually, no, that's for the mounts. Never mind. You could the Sylph pack exchange, so Sylph contract, that's kind of just self-explanatory right there. If you could get 10, you're able to get either the light Sylph or the dark Sylph. Now, you can either invest into the game for sure, because I think it's like, yeah, it's exactly like 200 balance to get all the chests you would need to get all your Sylph packs at once. So depending how desperate you are to get Hades and Apollo, as soon as you hit 40, because you're already investing balance to get one or the other from the selection chest, and then whatever you don't get, you can pick from one of these two Sylph pack choices here. But you need 10 Sylph packs, and depending how you do it, if you're a free-to-play player, you're normally getting one pack each event, so that can rack up real quickly if you're smart about it. But if you're really stupid about it, well, that's kind of on you. I'm just throwing that out there. And then, depending on your level, once again, this is just the different stuff you would want from the event, depending what you invest the magic pens for and whatnot. So, moon dust, and stones, you normally don't need those until you've got a tier 2 Sylph and you're trying to get mats to where you are elevating into the tier 3 Sylph, which is the strongest form. So this is stuff you would want to avoid, or depending how long you're going to camp, if you guys want to pull a me and do everything all at once like I did years ago, being the first level 70 to hit 1 million battle rating. That is actually a true fact. Anybody and everybody that knows me can tell you straight up, I was the first person to ever pull that off because nobody had the patience for it. And I wanted to prove a point that it could be done, that they did not want to do it. So therefore, null and void. Patience is a virtue. And besides the major caching, but yes. If you guys end up caching and you want to get the Sylphs, both light and dark, invest into the Sylph packs, and then later on, if you guys are still trying to beef up your Sylph, always, for sure, the rarity as well, you would want to get yourself up to at least a purple, but if you guys are going to be investing good few $100s to get a legendary orange Sylph, that would take time. So for sure, you would want to invest in the Mara bags, and you can get up to 50 of the 20 Maras, and this bag, you get 1 to 5. So 50 times 20, that would be about 1,000, I think. I could be wrong, but 50 of them, so yeah, it's probably close to 1,000 to what you would get for the Mara, and that's actually a lot of material to upgrade the Sylph. This is definitely something you would want to invest into, and once you've maxed out the rarity of your Sylph, because my Apollo is still staying purple, because if you do the math correctly, each Mara is 10 points, and it takes about 1,500 points to elevate from tier 1 purple to tier 2. That's about 1,500 Mara, give or take. So, yeah, this would be your best bet to invest into if you're trying to get extra pointers or cheat sheets to want to get your Sylph up to a legendary, which is a very terrifying form, nonetheless. And then that also takes 20 of the magic pens, so yeah, you'd be investing a lot into that for sure. And then once that's all fine and dandy, or if you want yourself to rack up in the ranking real quick, absolutely go for the Sylph Sepulchrum Lucky Bag, because magic pens are key. And of course, you have more mats here you want to invest into, to where you're not falling behind when you want to elevate yourself when you're in level 40s, 60, vice versa. And then, alright. And last but not least, you have the shop itself. And then we're going to get into the special spots later on. But as you guys can see, you get bonus bound balance. As you guys can see, those are the 4 of the 6 spots I've invested into thus far. So, if you remember correctly, 1,000 bound, 10,000 balance, you get 12,000 bound balance on top of that starting out as your bonus. So if you guys are willing to invest 150, 170, 185, almost about $200 right away, you get a crap ton of bound balance, which is essential to get extra Mara to upgrade the Sylphs as well. Again, like I said, you guys got to be smart about this. And then when it comes to balance spending, limited. Okay, so of course you do the math. It actually is going to add up to about $200 worth. So, and of course you can get 500 a day. So if you guys are willing to invest $200 a day for a week, you would be a god basically before the end of the week. Absolutely, nobody would touch you. But then again, pen bag, like the event material, you have a chance to get anywhere between 2 to 5. So it's all chance based, it's all luck based. If you guys are willing to blow your money, absolutely go for it. Because if you guys have remembered my older videos or had seen my older videos, you guys can see just how much BR you get. But then again, it's not the amount of money you spend that makes you strong. It's what you invest into that makes the toon itself strong. You could spend $1 million and screw up your entire toon because you didn't know what the frick you were doing, for one. And two, you blew all the money and wasted probably your whole entire life savings into it because you were stupid, didn't know what you were doing. The guard recruitment tickets, this takes real balance, just like the astral crystals, which you need to elevate your astrals from orange to red rarity. Now, you can't get these for right now. You can't get your astrals to red until you buy so many of these astral crystals, and that is what is a big BR blocker. And for those of you that are trying to get big BR real quick with your astrals, I'm not sure what the absolute number is to get a whole set of red astrals. So for those of you that have been investing in the game and getting the astral crystals, chat, please comment, let me know. For those of you that still cash heavy, and you can actually give some pointers on this as well. And then the guard recruitment tickets, you can get 10 of those a day. So that's 3,000 balance, and then that's like 6,000 balance right here for this. So it's really expensive to get your guards for 1, 2 astrals, and then 3 real balance to get your guard skill scrolls, which is retarded. I'm not gonna lie, it's freaking retarded. But 7 Road's gonna make their money somehow. But anywho, this is actually something for those of you that hit 70. You want to get your demon more beefed out for sure. And if you guys paid attention with the selection pack, you get, actually, no, wait. Oh, wait, nope, not there. It's here. I just remembered that. So, disregard what I was just about to say. So, 100 times 15, that would be about, 15 times 100, that'd be about 1,500. It's either 1,500 or 15,000. I can't mental mouth right now, but it's one of those two that you would invest for those a day. And of course, you would have a perfect Sylph with max skills. Or Sylph, oh my gosh, you demons, I'm tired. So I'm trying to get through this as quick as I can, as painless as I can, because this is probably going to take a minute for people to process everything. And of course, other stuff you would want to invest into, well, the fashion bag, you get that once a day. And then you're allowed up to 3 of the beginner mount cards, to where you get one of the magical, gentle, or a vicious mount card, which is a plus 10 attribute. So it's like 100, anywhere between 100 to 200 mount value. This is also something you would want to invest into, and that would be about 4,500 balance a week. So this is another way to get really good BR for sure for those of you that are going to cash heavy, or if you've saved up enough bound balance and you just want to spend those first. You get constant mounts to get you more BR once you hit 20 or 25, I think it is, when you get your mount. And then of course clothing, it actually helps with your BR now, unlike how it used to be. But mounts is what you would want to invest into the most. So for those of you that are watching, still watching and paying attention to the video, absolutely. And of course, I'm not even going to go there with that card. Just no, nobody wants my opinion on that. Anyhow, back to the beginner mount card. Mount cards, for sure. For those of you that cash, or you're just saving up bound balance, or you're just using a variation of both, $3,500, wow, might as well be. 3,500 balance, or 4,500 balance a month gets you a lot of BR by the week. So within a month, you would have a crap ton of BR for sure, to where you get like 200-300 BR to where you're almost untouchable throughout the week and whatnot. And of course, fashion, because we love our fashion. Runestones, you can get those throughout the game, but since they don't have tanks, then of course you're going to have to invest into that or get these through doing certain events and whatnot, and you can just get these for free. Fashion cores, I would not invest into these because, for one, you get them from doing certain events as well, and you can get their shards, I think, through the battleground chests you can accommodate into. And then if you're high enough level and you do Spire, you also get the fashion core shards that you can craft to make a fashion core from the Spire chest, and that is also, well, yeah, you really don't want to invest into that. Good luck charms. This honestly is irrelevant, and I really wouldn't invest into either of these because that's a major waste, because this mobile version is entirely different, a whole separate entity from the computer version itself. A lot is different in the mobile to where it doesn't contradict you as much as you would playing PC, because there's a crap ton more to understand with PC. And personally, for me, I would rather play the mobile than PC, unless you're just wanting that grind, of course, to make yourself a little better. But all this really does, the cores and the luck charms, you just invest it into your clothing slot, and honestly, you just get more stats that way, but it's really not a lot, and it's not like you're unlocking clothing the higher level you reach. They changed the clothing system in the PC version, because once you got high enough, every like 5 or 10 levels, you unlocked a very special rare piece of gear or clothing. This version does not have that, so once again, don't invest in these, because this is just a screw you for sure. And that's a lot of balance or bound balance that you could save up for something else, like the Mara. Absolutely, you would want to invest into Mara to make yourself, again, stronger. But of course, the higher the rarity, the more Mara you're going to need. So here's my little trick. Like I told you, every one Mara is 10 points. So every Mara spent is 10 points from one. Yeah, every one Mara is 10. So you do the math, you figure it out that way, and of course you invest so much Mara into yourselves. Spend wise, you're actually got better chance for sure if you have more than the minimum that it requires. Mount training whips, I don't know. Honestly, for those of you that want to max out your stables, go for it, because stables is another cruel key essential to make yourself stronger. And of course, every stable you unlock, you get more mounts. For one, I think there's like 9 or 10 mounts you can unlock, and each mount you unlock gets you more BR. But I don't know if they changed it in this version as well, but depending on the amount of mounts you have, you cannot upgrade your stables any further, nor exceed the mount value limit that you have to you that certain mounts give you, to where you can't upgrade your stables anymore until you have more value from mounts. It's kind of hard to explain. But basically, until said value requirement is met, you cannot upgrade any more of that particular stat, strength, intellect, endurance, or armor. So once you meet the requirement amount of mounts with the proper amount of value, you cannot upgrade yourself anymore, because if that's the case, you just invested a crap ton of mount training whips for naught, and you just kind of screwed yourself in the long run. So absolutely, I would not invest into these unless you have a good enough amounts accumulated to where you don't have to worry about getting stuck and being like, oh, well, I just screwed up and wasted all my balance or bad balance into mount training whips. I can't even use them without getting more mounts. Well, again, this is what I'm making these videos for. And another cruel essential thing, that's a trap, don't buy it. That's a trap, don't buy that either. Refinement crystals, you want those for sure, because again, you want to refine your gear to where you get the proper stats that you want, and the actual stats that you will need in the game that will give you more stats to where your character is more beefy, stronger, and whatnot. For those of you, and that's another thing I've actually been forgetting to mention in some of my update videos, refinement is key to making your toon a lot stronger, to where you get anywhere between 1,000 to 4,000 or 5,000 BR rank increase. So refinement is key. Refinement is essential. You need, excuse me, refinement crystals and refinement locks to save yourself from spending balance and not going in debt to where your stats aren't getting screwed over and whatnot. And of course, well, you can get those from events too and certain other places, but socketing rods, you absolutely want to get those as quick as possible so you have all of the gem slots unlocked for all your gear. And once you get the certain requirements of certain gear, which I think 40s for rings and jewels, they won't upgrade until 40. So for catacombs, honestly, if you guys are running those every day, save up your crypt tokens and just get the level 40 jewelry and rings, because like I said, only the gear itself will upgrade. The helm, weapon, armor, and brooch, they will level up in the upgrade slot for blacksmith, but the jewelry and the rings will not. Remember that. That is also another cruel essential feature for those of you that are or are not new to the game. Oh, basically are new to the game, because the ones that aren't, you already know this. But absolutely, that's another thing you want to do for sure. And of course, you would want to buy the gems if you guys aren't going to be doing catacombs and you want to just invest into the game to just get the gems that you need. That is actually something that will help you raise your BR more. But if you guys are going to be playing through the game just to enjoy it, don't worry about it and just keep doing catacombs. But for those of you that are campers, not luck, absolutely invest into these gems for sure. That is just another cruel essential way to get your BR up more. And then wishing back. Okay, yeah. So here's another thing too. And apparently only the golden tickets you're able to do this. And of course you can see the drop rate. So you guys do the math on that to tell if it's worth it or not. So you would need to spend 1,000 balance to get your 10 golden wish tickets. And then for golden wish tickets for mounts, you need to dump about 2,500 balance. Now, as you guys can see, the weekly limit for each of those is between 10 and 5. So 10 times 1,000 would be 10,000. You're spending about another couple $100 on clothing once a week, and then another 12,000 and some balance. Actually, wait. Yeah, about 12,500 balance you would be spending once a week on mounts, because one, mounts are essential, mounts are key, mounts is what gets you more battle rating and gets you stronger. So if you guys are wanting to invest into clothes and whatnot, that's going to be about anywhere between $300 to $400 a week if you guys do not want to wait on their golden wish tickets. If you invest into the game, buy the mounts. Definitely get the mounts. And once you have those all bought up and you're all fine and dandy, you have enough to where you're satisfied and you're comfortable with your BR, go for the clothing, because this is where you get the Emperor wings, the Emperor hat, and the Emperor robe that I ended up getting very lucky on and won, as you guys saw in the last update video. I did, or not so much the last update video, but the MPD I ran. I'm trying to find it. It's actually kind of hard to find. Because I think it's one of those secret clothes that you're able to get through this as well. And actually, wait. Nope, I found it. Yep, the Emperor style. So, of course, again, it's all based on you guys, but I wouldn't go for clothing. Absolutely do the mounts first, and then if you guys want a better look for your character, absolutely dump 10,000 balance just for clothes. You'd be really dumb to do that though, because unless you got the patience to wait and you can just save up your tickets and just buy these simultaneously with throughout the week or throughout the month or months, yeah, it'd be smarter. But if you guys don't want to wait for a more presentable tune, more power to you. And then coming to last on our list that I wanted to go over that they just put updated was the packs, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. So of course you get your freebie 10, 20, and 50 bound balance. You get 80 balance starting out at the first of the month, and then throughout the week you're getting 20, and then every day you're getting 10 bound balance. And another little feature they included, once you start buying into the packs, they've given you the ability to gain VIP. Not as much, but just enough. It just helps you out. So if you guys are just wanting to be cheap with the game and just slowly build yourself up, starting out for sure, invest into the refinement chests. That would be essential because, again, for those of you that are camping the game and you want to get yourself strong before you start elevating, or you just want to just troll the battleground because you guys are just a-holes like that, absolutely invest into this. You get this twice a day, so that's $10. That's actually not bad. And then twice a day as well, $2, and you get 15 of either Mara or Sepulchrum. Absolutely. And then you get 240 balance plus the 240 VIP. And then you have the $5 ones, or $10 twice a day, or yeah, twice a day a week. You get these. And of course, that would be 600 VIP for you, which of course VIP is essential, and you get 600 bound balance on top of that. And then you get the jewel shards that you need for your jewelry to upgrade the jewels in your jewel bag and jewel stats to where you make yourself even stronger as well. So, and also for the hero training, yeah, we did that earlier before. So, and if you guys are in 30s, absolutely go for the soul crystals. Fate stones is irrelevant, dragon glass is irrelevant, but the higher you guys level up, and Fate Stones is kind of harder to get, I would invest into the Fate Stones, because once you get the Sniper's Edge and the Holy Aegis ranked up high enough, you guys will have enough battle rating and stats to where you're also untouchable, and you guys get that special glow ring around your character. And I sound like a robot for some reason. But of course, that's just if you are pretty much camping a level, is why this would probably be as cheap as it is, and it's something quick, it's easy to get to and whatnot. And the weekly packs give out the sky crystals, which is used through the sky trials. Again, that's not bad. Twice a week you're able to get, well, yeah, twice a week, so you get 10 realm drills, hero medal, and so much VIP as well. So honestly, the packs I would spend on, depending on your level, if you're camping, for sure. Oh, and of course, if you guys are 70 and camping, which is what me, Gam, and Trip are doing, or me, Jess, and Chandler have been doing, honestly, if you're going to spend in the game, get the tickets and get the equipment enchant chest, because you want your stuff to be upgraded as quick as possible. And then that's $100 right there. And then the other $100 is the guard shard selection chest. So you get to pick one or the other, and you get 20 of that. So therefore, you pick your poison, and then once you get the said Eudemon unlocked, you get so many shards of the Eudemon you have, and once you have so many, you can start upgrading them too, as I went over in the Eudemon update video, if anybody caught that and paid attention. So that's in one way. And then you also get the equipment enchant chest, and you get 5 of those, plus you get the bound balance and the VIP. Honestly, if anybody invests into this, you're honestly pretty freaking stupid, because one, I wouldn't do this for sure. I wouldn't do this, because if you do, you're, like I said, you're really freaking stupid, really retarded. And you can just go to the monthly pack, and you can just pick one of whatever Sylph Eudemon once a month. And since you only need 2 more, so that's $200 100 for 1 month and 100 for the next month once it resets. So, frankly, I would avoid the guard training and go for the guard summoning, because the recruitment tickets, you get all kinds of stuff from the recruitment shop, so it's always random. You're either getting enchant gear or material to enchant the gear of your U-Demon, or you're either getting shards for said U-Demon, so once you get so many, you can just start upgrading your U-Demon that way also. So, honestly, the guard training is a trap. I wouldn't recommend it. And then you also have the Vulcan pack. That's irrelevant unless you're 80, so stay away from that for sure. And of course, you can get those from doing certain events as well, and you can also get them from doing certain tasks and dungeons, because honestly, unless you're just cashing super hard to just get, because when you look at it this way, you get 50 of that, so 50 times 3, that'd be 150. 50 times 1, that's 50 of the hammers. So, and you can just farm the dungeons and just keep going with daily crusades and whatnot. That would just make a lot more sense, and it's saving more money for you. And of course, you get a crap ton of gold because, well, holy gear refinement, that's a whole nother ball game that I would avoid until you guys have enough gold bags saved up, or enough gold recursion to where you can just keep upgrading your level 80 legendary gear to where, 1, it makes them stronger, and 2, you can evolve your gear into red and just make yourself more essentially powerful. So, again, more power to you if you're heavy spenders and you just want to get the stuff quick and you don't want to wait. Go for it. Again, more power to you. But for those of you that just want to grind for everything and you don't want to spend, stay away from that also. Because some of these, if you just look over them, you can tell what you need. And, oh, well, okay, I didn't know about this one. So, the equipment promotion, immediately investing into the game, if you guys just want to just get your gear like that and you don't want to wait either, absolutely, go for it. More power to you. But once again, you only get 6 chests of one of whatever. So 6 times 5 is... Oh, I hate mathing in my head when I'm this tired. Would be 30 for the 70, 48 for 60, 120 for level 50, and then, well, you would actually be able to make a majority of your 50 gear with this, and the majority of your 40 gear with this. So, honestly, this would be something to absolutely go for. $30, you can get a whole set on that for the most part. So, I would go for that. For those of you that are just grinding and you're just wanting to avoid and you just don't want to wait for your gear, go for that as well, because if you do the math, 6 times whatever the amount of this, so actually, yeah, I take that back. You would get the whole gear set if you invest twice into this gear chest, and you would actually get just enough to get your whole 50 and 40s. As for 60s and 70s gear, you're just going to have to wait a while on that note, because, well, that's the 2 strongest sets of gear in the game until you get to 80, and then you are basically God at that point. And the guard training, the guard protection rank selection chest, or battle protection, I'm sorry. Yeah. So, again, that's all for specialization. Avoid that, honestly. Again, it's $30. You can get more stuff, but you're not really getting a whole lot for your buck. And all you're doing is wasting money on that. So, don't get the guard training. That's a trap. Gem selection, that's $20 for 2 level 6 gems. So, honestly, that would be worth investing into. And plus, you get over 1,000 VIP for investing into that. And you get over 1,000 bound balance on top of that, and 10 gold bags as well. That's actually something to invest into for those of you starting out in the game and you're needing to buff out real quick. That would be the main key thing you would need to get, is the gem selection. So for those of you that don't want to wait forever to get the level 6 and higher gems, invest into that. I mean, it's $20 a week. So that's actually not bad as well. And then for the Sylph training, you have the Sylph Refinement stones. Okay, so this is the material that you need to refine your Sylph gear if you want to change anything. So again, 4 times 10, that'd be 40. I'm not sure how much it takes because I've actually not gotten to the point where I'm refining Sylph gear. So honestly, starting out, you would want to get that. And if you guys are trying to make yourself stronger, absolutely. And then the monthly packs. We have the Sylph Promotion, Artifact Training, Artifact Synthesization, Sylph Divinity 2, Equipment Promotion, Sylph Equipment, Mastery Skill, Upgrade your Amulets, Guard Training, Upgrade Amulet, Guard Summons, and the Guard Training. So if you guys remember me telling you, do not invest in the other thing because you're really freaking retarded for it. Here, you have the Guard Shard Selection Chest. You get the 50 that you would need to get whatever one you'd want for 1. And 2, where is the other one? Oh, yeah, that's the one. Battle Protection. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong one. I could have swore I saw a second one. I could be wrong. But then you also get 50 chances to get so many more shards or the actual Eudemon that you need. So, Null and Void, these are the 2 you would mainly want to get. You get a chance to get in both Eudemons for sure. But, of course, you get to pick one of them. And I know I'd seen one. There's one you can pick, and you can just pick whatever Eudemon that you want on top of that one. But I can't remember which one it is. I know I'd seen it before. Unless I'm talking about the special selection pack then. Yeah, this is basically the 2 ways you can mainly get your Eudemons. Both the Arch, the Hunter, and the Cleric. Absolutely, for those of you that are 70, those are your 2 main key pointers. You're going to be investing at least $200 to $300 getting everything that you would need, but that would actually be something and less of a grind for you, and then all you'd have to do is just grind for the material to get your Eudemon upgraded more. Honestly, more power to you if you do it this way. 8 times 50, that's a lot of white iron. No, wait, 8 times 10. Never mind. I don't know why I thought 50. 8 times 10, that would be 80. And then, okay, that's why, because I'm thinking the battle protection. Never mind. Okay, guys, I think I've covered everything for the most part. Aside from these, Sylph Promotion, absolutely. Go for either the Mara or the Sepulchrum, depending how far you are advanced with yourself. Artifact, again, that's irrelevant until you're 80. And of course, if you want it, go for it. It's once a month. More mounts and such for you. And then you have the Crest, again, this is more for the people that are level 80 or level 70 and you still don't know what you're doing. Absolutely. Just grind. Grind, grind, grind. Do not miss a day. Do not miss your dailies. Do not miss a dungeon run. That is mainly your other ways to avoid having to spend and break your wallet. And you get so many materials from this for the light and dark sylphs, and then you get more Mara and Sepulchrum from this as well. That's actually not bad. That's not so much of a trap. You get a good bit of VIP plus a lot of bound balance on top of it. And, of course, more Mara and Sepulchrum on top of that. And for those of you that don't want to wait forever to get your Sylph leveled up and refined and whatnot, again, this is unfortunately caching is the way to go to get your Sylph as far as you would want it to. And then the codex pages for your class advancement, 2, 3, and 6 times the 50. So you would have a lot of codex pages to upgrade the extra stats and skills, but until you reach a certain point in the game to where you actually are just blitzing through the dungeon, I would avoid getting the Codex Apprentice and invest into either the Expert or the Master Codex pages, because I've already reached a point in the game where you need the Experts. So avoid the Master for right now. Go for the Experts for those of you that are able to get the apprentice maxed out and where it needs to be, because 70, you are just grinding the expert portion of it, and once that's all done and dandy, you'll be needing master, but you'll be wanting the expert more than master, because expert takes a while from the looks of it, and you're starting back off at square one with how you were with the apprentice codex pages. The expert codex pages is going to take a while too to get, so for sure this would be something I would invest into for those of you that are going to work on your class advancement once you hit 60. And then of course you get a crap ton of gold bags, bow balance, and VIP. And you can only claim that once a month, because it's once a month. But yeah, and then your upgrade amulet, that is oh yeah, that's for the other specialization you unlock, to where you'll need certain rune stones to advance it to where you can start socketing gems into it and making yourself more beefier and stronger on your character as well. But other than that, everybody, I think that's everything. I think I've covered everything for the most part, to what to cash for, what not to cash for. For those of you that have more questions, feel free to message me. Or, got a pumpkin. What the frick is he? Ah, he got the pumpkin weapon. Okay. Oh, and he's 30,000 BR at 30s. Not bad, Trip. Not bad. But, okay, so, as I said, I think I covered everything for the most part. What you should cash for into, what not to cash for into. For those of you that still have questions, or if I missed anything, post in the comments. I do respond back, although for those of you that are offering me to buy your tunes, don't expect me to respond back to you, because I do not buy tunes. I do not buy anybody else's avatars. I've never been like that. I'm not like that. Just respectfully, you do what you want. But no, I will not buy avatars or tunes from anybody, because to me it's more of an insult and a backstab, because I worked so hard to get that tune to where it is. And I would not want to sell it off or pawn it off to anybody. I know it's going to rot away not using it. I would rather give it to somebody I trust rather than giving it away freely, selling it and whatnot. That's just a whole nother territory. And of course, me being tired, I'm going to be more blunt with my choice of words. I'd rather not offend more people than what I have, for sure, especially with the gender card comment I referred to earlier. No shit's given. So, anyway, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell me your thoughts. And again, if I missed anything, let me know. And if there's anything you guys would like to see me do, don't hesitate to respond and whatnot, of course. And, yeah, don't be a stranger to reach out. I will comment. I will reach out to you guys. And, just go from there. This is Hidden Angel Lionheart Saphira signing out, and former Purifier, Ultimate Wizard, August, the Wizard King, vice versa. Till the next video, guys, take it easy, be safe, and have a happy Memorial Day weekend. And enjoy. Later days.